Live from the Business RadioX studio inside Renasant Bank, the bank that specializes in understanding you. It's time for North Fulton Business Radio.
And hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of North Fulton Business Radio. I'm John Ray, and as usual, folks, we're broadcasting from inside Renasant Bank in beautiful Alpharetta. And if you are looking for a bank that is one of the top 10 banks in the country, that's not just my opinion, although it is my opinion. It's Forbes magazine's opinion, and they surveyed a lot of customers, and they found that result. Yes, Renasant Bank is one of the top banks in the country. And I think they have achieved that status by really serving in a personal way, even though they're a bank that's big enough to handle pretty much any need you can throw at them as a business. So if that's the kind of business you're looking for, then go to Renasant.com, or RenasantBank.com, I should say. You'd think I'd know that by now. RenasantBank.com. Find their local office and give them a call, and I think you'll be glad you did. Renasant Bank, understanding you, member FDIC. And now we've got three great guests today. I want to start, though, with Antonio Henson. Antonio is the Community Lending and Relationship Director with the aforementioned Renasant Bank. Antonio, welcome back. Welcome back.
Yes, mm-hmm. Thank you, John. Thank you for this opportunity to talk about a very important program that we have at Renasant Bank.
I'm looking forward to that. We're going to talk about the Renasant Roots program. Before we dive into that, let's give everyone an introduction to your work at the bank. Beyond Renasant Roots, what are you up to at Renasant?
Well, as the Community Lending and Relationship Director, I do a couple of things. One of the things I do is outreach, out into the community to talk about our programming, one of them being Renasant Roots. We provide financial education for low, moderate income communities. We provide home buyer education for first-time home buyers. Mm-hmm. We also work with nonprofit organizations working in four areas: affordable housing, community services, economic development, and revitalization and stabilization of neighborhoods. So we provide loans and investments in low, moderate income communities to help revitalize them. And the other thing I do, I think I mentioned before, is the outreach, which is very important. Mm-hmm. To get out there in the community, let folks know who we are and what we do. Mm-hmm. That's my main goal, responsibility with the bank.
Terrific. You know, we could go down an affordable housing bunny trail, but I will save that for another day, okay? But because we want to lots of great work there and important work there. But let's talk about the Renasant Roots program. Let's give everyone an introduction to the program first that may not have heard about it before.
Renasant Roots falls under our corporate social responsibility group. And one of the missions there is to help facilitate small business development. And Renasant Roots for a number of years now has been putting on this program called Capacity Building Program or Entrepreneurial Success Series in the Birmingham market. Mm-hmm. This is the second year that we're trying to do it here in the North Georgia Atlanta market. And we have two of our co-hosts from our first year with us today. Mm-hmm. You'll hear from them later. And so that's what Renasant Roots is about.
Yeah.
Getting out there and helping small business development, facilitate small business development in the community.
Go ahead.
And we do that by putting on this program here. It's a 5-week program. Mm-hmm. We talk about various subjects. We have industry experts and Renasant bankers that come on and talk to the participants in the program.
So what are the, maybe we can talk about some of those topics that you cover, those subject areas that you cover in those 5 weeks first.
First week is going to be business structure and planning. Mm-hmm. That can cover a variety of topics. One thing we're going to do this year that we didn't do last year, part of that discussion, we're going to talk about estate planning. what to do. How do you exit out of your business? What do you do? What do you need to do if you want to retire and sell your business? That's one of the things we're going to talk about, as well as different type of structures. How do you structure your business? Do you want to have an LLC? Do you want to have a limited partnership, or do you want to have an S corp? What are the benefits of the different structures? That's the first week.
Yeah, and all of these sessions are led by folks within the bank, correct?
Within the bank and industry experts. So we have volunteers that come in, that expert in the industry, and talk about the subject matter.
Terrific. So let's talk about, Antonio, the needs this meets, because I think minority entrepreneurs, a lot of folks maybe don't understand the needs that minority entrepreneurs have that you're trying to address in this program, right?
Well, capacity building says it all right there, right in the name.
Yeah.
Helping small businesses get to the next level. And a lot of small businesses wear a lot of hats. The owners wear a lot of hats. So, and they need assistance in trying to figure out, when you need to take off a hat and hire someone, not try to do it all. So we cover all of that. How you go about doing that? You need to hire experts to help you with your branding, your marketing. And that's the second week. The third week we talk about, skip my mind that quick. Accounting principles and tax preparations. It's a very important thing that small businesses need to do. We don't want small business to get in trouble with the IRS. So you get introduced to accounting principles, how to prepare your taxes and things like that. And the fourth week, we talk about funding options. Bank is only one of the options of borrowing money. There are other organizations out there. So we talk about small business lending, SBA, our SBA program at the bank. We have someone come in from Treasury Services, talk about cash management. So there's a lot of nuggets that small business can get to help them grow.
And when you say capacity building, it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like it's not just about the nuts and bolts of that, the financials, the hiring employees. Some of it is just about mindset and understanding what's possible, right?
Exactly.
Say more on that.
Well, you don't know what you don't know. So one of the things that the program do, and I'm sure Gladys and Trent will be able to talk about it, is what were some of the aha moments for them as they went through the program, and how did it help them moving forward. And we, as bankers, when we see someone coming in, a small business come in, and they want to borrow money, there's a lot of things they don't know. And one of the things you need to know is how to put a business proposal together, your pro forma, things of that nature. So we have bankers that can, help guide you and direct you in that area. And hopefully that's what we think the cohorts would get out of the program. What they need to do before they go to have a relationship with a banker. And
I think the part of this that I find really great that Renasant is doing is it really gives a peek into the bank and its professionals as more than just go to, when you need something, is that the bank is and its professionals stand ready to help along the way and to provide advice along the way and guidance. And that's pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah, selflessly, that's one of the goals of the bank is hopefully we can get some business out of this as well. We help small businesses grow. They get to a point where they can utilize our services. beyond the checking account. Have a relationship with a small business representative at the bank. That'll be their personal contact, and they can build a relationship and grow with the bank as well.
Great stuff from Antonio Henson. He is the Community Lending and Relationship Director at Renasant Bank. I want to bring in, Antonio mentioned Gladys and Trenton. We've got Gladys Agwai with us. I got that right.
You got that right.
I love it. She's Ignite Within, and we've got Trenton Carson with TC Productions. Gladys, let's start with you. Tell everyone a little bit about Ignite Within. How you serving folks out there?
Well, thank you for having me, number one, and really appreciate being here. And what I heard in the introduction was Renasant Bank understanding you. And when you talk about what I do, I help my clients understand themselves. I help them to get the clarity that they need, to have the right mindset that they need, to take the uncomfortable action that is required for them to live their best life, to grow their businesses, to grow in their careers, to accelerate that growth, to sustain that growth. And I do that through international speaking, as a life coach, as well as a trainer. And I have a number of programs that I do for organizations, as well as individual one-on-one group coaching and training that I do to help implement that, to help them to see that success, because clarity is the piece that's missing. Mindset we talked about.
Yeah, I was going to say,
well.
you set up and take residence and it's for mindset, right?
Yes, because you can have all the skill in the world. You can be the expert in it. But if you don't have the right mindset going into it, you will remain stuck and you will not take the actions, the bold actions, the uncomfortable action that's needed for your growth. And I mean sustainable growth. Accelerated growth within what you decide you want to do and to be.
I love that last point you made, Gladys, about sustainable growth. I mean, it's maybe not easy is the word, but it's one thing to squeeze the juice out of the orange, but it's a whole nother thing to grow the orange grove, as it were, right? I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, and creating circumstances under which you have sustainable growth really does start with mindset, right?
It does start with mindset. And what does growth even mean to you?
Right.
And what are you willing to sacrifice in order to get that growth? Because we come into a business, I come from corporate as a corporate executive, right? And so as a corporate executive, I was great, I was wonderful, and I was good. And then I got into my own business. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to do everything myself. Not everybody's doing it. I don't have everybody doing it for me.
Right.
And I had to really understand the foundations and the basics of business and what it meant to be in business, not to play at it, not to piddle with it, but to actually be in business and have the mindset that says, I can do this. Because I will tell you, for me, when I had done everything I thought I needed to do to announce, say, Gladys, you are now a business owner in the world, this is Ignite Within, I said, I'm not ready. I can't do this. I'm not ready. I got to dot another I, cross another T, go and dot the T and cross the I and do everything that I needed to do and even more and more and more. And I almost said, no, I'm not going to do it. But I had a coach, a business coach, and she said, Gladys, you're ready. I had done everything that I was supposed to do to prepare myself to take that step. What will other people think? Will they really buy into what I'm selling, what I'm wanting to do? But fortunately, I said, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And I pressed that button and said, this is who Gladys is now. And if I hadn't, I would not be helping all of the people that I have helped in my business. And I do things globally. And so I would encourage business owners and individuals to think globally and to expand their mindset around how to do business, how to be in your career. in a global capacity as well, because I learned that by being on international assignment with my company and being able to live and work over in Africa. Right? Mm-hmm. And so now my business is global. Clients in Europe and in Africa as well as regionally, here in the U.S.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the types of clients you work with. You mentioned your professional speaking practice and your coaching practice. Talk about the types of clients you work with.
So most of them are corporate professionals, executives, leaders. Most of them hate what they're doing, disengaged in what they're doing, know and feel that something's just not right. There's something more. Mm-hmm. Don't know what that more is. Mm-hmm. Want to make a transition, but transition into what? They may have made pivots and pivoted in the wrong direction because, again, they weren't clear. Their mindset made them take a little bitty tiny step as opposed to another step or a different step or too bold of a step, and they shouldn't have taken that bold step at that time. So corporate professionals, executives, and leaders, a lot of my focus has been with women and girls, but men come into the fold as well, because we all have the same needs, the same challenges to different and varying degrees.
Sure. That sounds terrific. Trenton, let's turn to you. You're an old friend of North Fulton Business Radio, but a lot of folks around here know you, but let's reintroduce you for those that don't. TC Productions, what's going on there?
So I'm Trenton Carson, owner of TC Productions Video Production Company. We're a video production company that works with marketing executives and business owners to create their videos for their marketing initiatives. And the way we do that is we're focusing on branding, marketing, and testimonial videos. And several ask what's the difference between those type of videos. So we like to break it down for our terms that helps to have them understand. So we classify as branding is who you are, marketing is what you do, and testimonial is who you serve. So when we're creating those type of videos, our branding video, we're going to focus more on who you are. What do you do in the community? Your history. If we're doing marketing, we're going to focus on your services, on your products, and your testimonials. We're going to focus on the actual clients that you serve and how you became a solution to them.
What's the state of video right now, Trenton? I mean, is the use of video expanding, continuing to expand? How's it changing?
Video is booming, and you thought it would have slowed down during the pandemic, and then Zoom came around. And so those that were scared to be on video had to be forced to be on video, and they found out video is not that bad.
Turn your camera on, right?
Exactly. They got to the point where they were so comfortable with video that they no longer dressed up for it. They just woke up and turned the camera on and just had their meetings that way. So that increased the rise of video. Now we're comfortable being in front of there. We're no longer scared of the camera. Now we're focused on being present on the camera, but able to get our message out.
I love that. Now you work with what kind of companies? So what are the best client fits for you?
So we work with medium-sized to corporations now. I think in the past, when I was on the show, we worked with smaller businesses and solopreneurs, and we've been growing ever since. And the reasons why we're working with more medium-sized corporations is now we're more into the execution of role. And so now you're having a marketing team that at one point they had the resources to do all that. Now things been cut down. You're asking your marketing director, you're asking the 3 people on your marketing team to do everything, and they cannot do it. And so they create the ideas and we execute on them.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you've gotten to the point, I mean, you've been in business now, 10 years?
Yes, 10 years.
Yeah, I knew the answer to that question. Congratulations on that, by the way. And I'm bringing that up for a point that has to do with Renasant Roots, and we'll get to that in a second. But you've been around long enough to kind of know what works and what doesn't in video.
Yes.
I mean, you can point to it too, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah. We can point out what worked, what didn't work, what you should be doing. And that really helped us be a mainstay in this industry. Now when we were in the beginning, we was the novice, we was coming on the scene. Now we're more subject matter experts in our industry right now. And then another new thing that we're doing this year, and I want to piggyback off what we learned from the Renaissance, is that this year we started an internship program. And so based off of learning what we did in our cohorts, how we bring in other people to help us out, because you don't know what you don't know. And since things have been booming, now all the colleges in the area are opening up film programs to accommodate the film industry in the Atlanta area. And so it worked really well with our cohort and for what Renaissance was holding. So we decided, okay, if we've been in it 10 years, 9 years when we started, and we still was learning new things, let's give back and go after those that are very green to the industry and say, how can we incorporate them in? And one of the main things we tell them is that we all would come in and say, oh yeah, I want to work in Hollywood. I'm going to work at a TV studio. And some will, but most will not. And I'm very frank with our interns. I said, hey, most of you all would just be freelancers, and you need to learn how to navigate on your own. You need to know how to work with teams before you go to the studio, before you go work in Hollywood, or before you go to work in Atlanta, Hollywood. And to be able to do that, here's the main things you need to know, about the etiquette of being on set, or how to handle a camera, or how to do these other things, because they're coming out of college. Yes, they know the terminology, but they don't know how to apply it. And another reason we saw was that since video is on the rise, everybody's saying you need video. These businesses are going after, college kids, recent grads, and saying, hey, why don't you intern here? Why don't you intern here? Well, you can't intern at a place where they cannot teach you at. And so, yes, I know I want you to film for my business, but I'm not teaching you how to film. I'm not teaching you about the craft. So after they do an internship at that business, and then they're sending in us applications wanting to work with us, but do not know how to do anything. So we cannot utilize them. So we took a page out of Renaissance book, and we've been reading it well.
I love that. That's terrific. Yeah, I'm delighted you brought that in. Gladys, let's turn to you on your participation in Renaissance Roots. I mean, what appealed to you about the program, and what were the unexpected pleasant surprises you got out of it in terms of what you learned and that you didn't expect?
Yeah, I have been in business for 8 years, but as a business owner, you get so busy doing so many different things. This program came at the exact right time for me, because I needed to go back to the basics. I needed to go back to the foundation, the accounting principles, the financial pieces of it, the marketing pieces of the program, being in a group with other business owners who were in that same place, in that same position. And so going through the program, and the other thing is I'm a senior citizen. And in my world, I hear a lot about the millennials and the Gen X's and all of that kind of stuff, and needing to promote them, and we got to get them doing this and that and the other. I'm like, but what about me? Because I have many experiences through what I've done throughout my lifetime and through my business experiences. And so am I in a position where I would be accepted, where you're willing to help someone that's not a millennial, that's not Gen X? And they did that. And so that gave me another level of confidence about my business, right? That I'm not too old to be doing this thing. I don't have to just retire and just go hang out with my grandbabies, which I get to do as a business owner because I manage my time. But it gave me that boost of confidence. And the key thing that it had me do going through this program, being in business, is all about the financials. You got to know your numbers, right? You got to know, are you profitable in doing your business? And so I went back to the beginning and just tore up all my stuff, not tore it up, but pulled it out to see, where am I really? Where am I spending my time? Am I getting the return on the time that I am spending in my business? And so for me, speaking and getting paid to speak is what brings and generates the most income for me. And so I switched my focus so that I can bring in more money in my business, spending less time doing that. So I'm optimizing my time and then being able to make more money in the process. And when I optimize my time, I can balance my time. And so work-life balance for me is very important to me, because I do want to spend time with my grandchildren, but I don't want to, that's not all that I want to be able to do. I do want to be in my business. As I mentioned, I have a global business, and I wanted to be able to do that. So it really helped me to rethink, reframe, reorganize my business so that I could do it really my way. And that's why I'm in business, because I want to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it, and who I want to do it with. And so if you don't know your financials and what direction you need to be taking your business, then you're not able to do that. Your business takes over you as opposed to you taking over your business.
Yeah, for sure. Trenton, what about you? I mean, you, like Gladys, you've been around a while in your business. I mean, what did you, and you know, after 10 years, you know a thing or two, right? So, I mean, more than a thing or two. So what attracted you to the program, and what did you think you were going to get out of it? What were some of the unexpected, pleasant surprises?
Well, I didn't know what I was going to get out of it. I was attracted to this program through a friend in Mia Martin, and she was one of my classmates in this cohort. And, you know, we talk a lot. So she told me about this opportunity. It was a class that was a program that's for us to help us out. And I was saying, Mia, I've been in business for a while. I should be okay. And she said, it'll help you out. So I went to look through there. And one of the main things that attracted me to it, you know, the class structure, where we was actually learning, who was going to talk to. Because as business owners, we don't really take classes on how to be a business owner. We usually just get tired of working and start our own thing. And we'll wing it. And so most of us would not start to be getting any success until about third or fourth year, if you're still in business. And so this is a class that was breaking things down to show you, okay, you need to learn about taxes. You need to learn about accounting, marketing, branding, trademarks, stuff that you don't really know to get into. You just know how to do your one thing. And this also was an opportunity to not only reconnect with Mia, but to connect with other business owners. Now we have a safe space. And out there, you know, I know everything, but now I'm in the class. I can say, hey, I really don't know what I'm doing on this subject. Could you help me out here? Could you help me out there? And that really attracted me to this program.
And, you know, I would just say Mia also brought me into the program. She's my marketing strategist.
Okay.
And when I heard Trent say he was video production, I'm like, oh, we need to talk after, because in my business, I need someone to help me with video production. And I say all of that because within business, it's so important to have right connections, good connections.
Right.
And this Roots program, I love the name of the program. The Roots program brings that connectivity among the people who are, I think, lucky enough to be a part of it, so that we grow together.
Yeah, that's really, I love that too. And what you're talking about is, it's not just networking to do business with each other, although that's part of it, but I love what you said about having a safe space to say, hey, you know, I know what I don't know, and I feel comfortable enough saying that. And that's pretty cool when the Antonio and his colleagues are able to generate a environment like that, right?
Oh, yes. And also going back to that, not fostering that type of environment so you can learn from each other, because it's a lot easier if Gladys states, hey, look, I tried 1, 2, and 3 and they didn't work. Well, I'm not going to try that because I know they didn't work.
Right.
You know, tell me what did work.
Right.
But a key aha moment, and I think I may have spoke on this before, is that we can actually have a relationship with a bank. Or we have lending options, because what we were told is you have to bootstrap it. And, you know, after being in business a while, bootstrapping is like the worst thing you can ever do. You know, Why go in there using the little money that you have that you really didn't save up to own a business and work with not only a bank that can lend you money, but professionals that can walk you through the journey. They're not going to say, hey, your first time applying and you get denied and you don't come back. They say, okay, you get denied, but because you didn't do this. I'm going to teach you how to do this. I'm going to teach you how to do that, and then go through it. So you can always come back and just learn a little bit more about how to get to the options and the funding that you need. And that was one of the key aha moments, is that the bank is actually your friend.
Yeah. And that sounds like people should know that, but the people don't know that, right? I mean, sometimes it's a little adversarial, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or strange.
It's very strange.
Unfamiliar, right?
Because you see on TV or see in the movies that, you go to the bank, you get denied. So that's all you know. You don't know, or that you can actually create a relationship with somebody in the bank that actually cares about your business and care about actually helping you out. And so you don't know to even look at that as an option.
And as an African American and in our community, we hear all the time about they're never going to give you any money. It's your group of people that never get the loans, can never get told no all of the time. And when you hear that all the time, your tendency is, well, I'm not going to even ask because I know I'm going to get rejected. So we self-reject before we even ask.
You self-deny, as it were. Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
And so this program, because Renasant Bank came across as really caring about the small business community, caring about it. Not just I'm a number and this is my numbers and that's it, but caring about us and wanting to give us the education and the information that we need in order to grow and to develop our business, to be able to make solid business decisions. And so I've never known that. This was my first experience working with a bank that really cared about me and my success as an African American.
Wow. Well, Antonio, that's got to make you feel pretty good. I mean, I think Antonio's got tears in his eyes over here. I'm just kidding, but he's got a big smile on his face. That's for sure.
It's truth.
Yeah. So coming out of this first year that the program's first year was this time last year. You got to feel good about looking at the graduates of this program, and not just Gladys and Trenton, but your others, Mia and others.
Great testimonials. I mean, and that's encouraging to hear.
Yeah,
that we're doing the right thing and we're moving in the right direction. And it takes a lot to put on a program like this. We partner with the Birmingham Business Resource Center, and they hire folks. So. It's a big production, and you have to get up to do it. And to hear these testimonies today, it's encouraging to hear. I want to continue it. This is our second year, and if we can get this kind of response every time we do the program, what can you ask for?
Yeah, it really jazzes you up, doesn't it? Yeah, I love it. Well, so let's get into the details of this year's program, Antonio, and let's talk about, give everyone directions, timing, what have you.
Absolutely. Well, the application process has opened, so we're taking submissions now. It opened on Monday, September 29th, and it's going to close next Monday, October 3rd. So there's still time to go online, and there's information out there. We have a flyer. Inside the flyer, there's an embedded bit link that you go on, you click, and the whole application form opens up. And it's about 2 pages long. It's not that long. Ask some basic questions about your business, who your accountants, and, insurance person, just to get some information about you.
Sure.
And then once we get the submissions in, we're going to select 10. Out of all the submissions we take in, we're going to select 10. Maybe we'll grow the cohort next year. I know Birmingham did that this year. They typically have about 12 or 15. They had 20 this year. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so hopefully, maybe we do the same thing for next year, for the third year, increase it somewhat, depending upon the kind of response we get. But the program kicks off October 19th is the first week. It's going to run for 5 weeks. There may be a couple of weeks skipped in between. The last date is going to be November 29th. So 5 weeks of that is 4 weeks of virtual structure and in-house instruction on business, how to run your business. And the 5th week is going to be graduation.
Wow.
In-person graduation.
Okay.
Yeah. And the most important thing is once you complete the program, Renasant Bank is giving away $2,500 as a grant to all small business owners that start and complete the program.
Well, now you're talking, right? now we're talking. You can't beat that. Just completing the program. Wow. Great stuff. Antonio Henson with Renasant Bank. So, Antonio, let's give directions on a website, how folks can find this.
Oh, boy. I didn't come prepared for that, but...
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll put it in the show notes. How about
put it
that?
in the show notes.
Yep.
But they can always call me.
There you go.
And here's my number.
Okay.
770-840-2610. And I'll be happy to help you and direct you on how to fill out the application.
And what we've heard is that if you've been in business a while, Gladys 8 years, Trenton now 10, you're going to still learn a lot from this program. Yes. So, in fact, it may be more important than ever to go in this program. Yeah, I think Gladys is ready to say something about that.
Yeah, I just think that it's so important that as a business owner, sometimes you got to kind of take a little pause to relearn, to reframe how you're doing business. I just think that that's just critical, and stop running 200 miles an hour and take a moment to have some reflection about your business. So I had really good reflection about my business and where I was and my direction, and was I still happy doing it? And, what was I not happy about doing, and what do I need to stop doing? What do I need to continue to do more of? And so that's what this program, really did for me, and made it better.
So Gladys, those, I want to get the coordinates for you and Trenton for those that might be interested in you and your services. Talk about how folks can get in touch with you.
I am my website, ignitewithin.org, ignitewithin.org. You can contact me with that on that website. You can schedule a private consultation with me, complimentary there. You can subscribe to the website, and I have all kinds of great information, articles, videos, things like that are message driven, bringing value to everyone. And I think it gives you a unique perspective, has you thinking differently, having you all reframing how you are doing business, how you are living your life. So ignitewithin.org, you can contact me there.
Okay, terrific. Gladys, Trenton, how about you?
You can reach out on our website at tcpvid.com, and also on all our social media handles is TC Productions, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TC Productions.
Terrific. So, Antonio, one more time, for those that are interested in the program, let's give your phone number where folks can call. And again, folks, we will put the link to the website where you can register on the show page.
Yes, I can be reached at 770-840-2610.
Antonio Henson, Community Lending and Relationship Director, Renasant Bank. Gladys Agwai, Ignite Within, and Trenton Carson, TC Productions. Thank you all so much for coming in. We really appreciate all the great work you're doing.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to the alumni program.
There you go.
That's right.
And that'll be on a future show, I promise you, folks. Folks, as we wrap up here, just a quick reminder. If you're looking for a team building exercise that does not involve mosquitoes and broken ankles, I've got a suggestion for you. A&S Culinary Concepts. Yes, you heard it right. An award-winning culinary studio. Yeah, they do corporate catering and whatnot, but they also do corporate team building events. So you bring your team in, you get to cook together under the direction of Executive Chef Andrew Traub, and you eat what you cook. And what fun is that? I mean, terrific fun. I've done it. I've been there. In fact, a little secret, I'm going tomorrow night. So to do it again. So call Andrew, 678-336-9196 and learn more, or go to asculinaryconcepts.com. And I think you'll be glad you did. And folks, just a quick reminder, North Fulton Business Radio is on all the major podcast apps. We've been celebrating episode number 500 here for a few weeks that we passed that milestone. We've got to that milestone because of your great support. So number one, we're grateful. Number two, we continue to ask for your help in sharing the show and promoting the great business leaders that we have on this show, because that's why we exist. And if you've heard something here that makes you want to share the show, and I can't imagine you haven't in today's episode, please do so. And that's how we get the word out on the great work of business leaders like Antonio, Gladys, and Trenton. So if you could do that for us, we would appreciate it. So for my guests, Antonio Henson, Gladys Agwai, and Trenton Carson, I'm John Ray. Join us next time here on North Fulton Business Radio.